A very warm good morning, students. This is your class 6 and class SST. That is your geography lessons. We have already learned the geography, that is your map chapter, but not discussed the question answers. So, students, let's discuss the question answer. So, your first question is that answer the following. What is a globe? Here you can see that there is a picture of globe, and let's understand that what is a globe. Globe is a model of the earth showing important features like continents, oceans, countries, etc. So students, you can see the picture of globe. So what is globe? Globe is a model of earth. It is not the actual earth, it is the model of earth. And it can, so on the globe we can see the continents, oceans, countries, etc. So next question is your, what do we call a book of maps? So the answer is a book of maps is called an atlas. So maybe you have also an atlas with you. That is, the next question is, what do we call the science of map making? So students, map making is also a science that don't think that it is a science like your chemical reaction or anything. It is a map making skill. That is, the science of map making is called as cartography. So next question is your question number 4, that is, who first represented the earth as a sphere? So you can see the picture of someone. The name of him is Ptolemy. That is, Ptolemy, a geographer from Egypt, first represented the earth as a sphere. So he was the first man who represent the earth as a sphere. He was a geographer from Egypt. So next question is your, name the cardinal points of the compass. Cardinal points, remember students, you have learned that cardinal points and intermediate points. So in your cardinal points, those points are north, south, east and west. In your picture also you can see that cardinal points are the north, south, east and west, indicating the 4 directions of compass. And here in the pictures, northeast, southeast, southwest and your northwest, these are also directions, but these are not the cardinal directions, these are the intermediate directions. So in your question, the question is about cardinal points of the compass, that is north, south, east and west. So next question is your, name 3 kinds of tools that helps us to read a map. So what are the tools? Scale, directions and conventional symbols are the 3 kinds of tools that helps us to read a map. So here is the first picture, that is different scales. Okay, this is the picture of scales. So scales, I have told you that what is scales. When we have to draw a map, that we have to take the scale, as we cannot draw a map with the actual distance on the ground, so we have to take a scale. So there are different kinds of scales we can use as our choice or as a need. So these are different scales. The first one is represents also 6 kilometer and another one is also represents 6 kilometers, but the distance between this 0 to 6 kilometer, look, in the both scales there are different distance. So in this way we can take our scales by our own need. Okay, next is your directions. We have just read that cardinal points and intermediate directions. So these are the directions, those we need to read a map, or these are helps us to read a map. Next is your conventional symbols. Conventional symbols are those symbols which helps us to represent a map represent a map or sketch or a plan. Okay, so scales in your answer, that scale, directions and conventional symbols are the three kinds of tools that helps us to read a map. Next, students, next question is your, now in your B, that is answer the following questions within 20 words. That what is a map? So what is a map? As we know, we can draw a map, but the map is a representation of the curved surface of the whole earth or part of it on a flat sheet of paper according to a chosen scale. So to draw a map, there must be a scale, and it is the representation of a curved surface of the whole earth or the part of it. That is, we can draw a map of world map, or of a part of it, maybe some countries, some states, like this. Okay, now what is the north line? North line is the vertical line with an arrow at the top marked with letter N. Look, this picture is showing the north line. North line is the vertical line. Here is the vertical line, that is north and south. That is the vertical line, not east or west. East or west is showing the horizontal lines, and vertical lines is the north and south line. This is the vertical line with an arrow. Look, at the top of there is an arrow mark at the top marked with letter N. Look, there is written north and also the letter N indicating the north direction. So this line indicates the north direction. So this is known as north line. North line is the vertical line with an arrow at the top marked with the letter N indicating the north direction. Next is your, what information do you need to locate a place with respect to another? So what do we need to locate a place? That is, to locate a place with respect to another, we need a sketch of a place. But student, I am showing you. Look, here is a picture of sketch. To locate a place with respect to another, we need a sketch of a place. So if you want to go somewhere, then you need a sketch of a place with direction. Direction must be there, and conventional symbols must be there, so that you can locate a place. Okay, so you need a sketch to locate a place. You with respect to one with respect to another means with respect to another place. Okay, we need a sketch of a place with direction and conventional symbols. Next is your, answer the following questions within 40 words. Next question is, what are political and physical maps? What are political and physical maps? Look students, here is the definition of political and physical maps is given, and also the pictures. Okay, so first one is your India political map. Look at the picture. This is the Indian political map, and now look at the definition, that is a political map. Okay, this map shows boundaries of countries and the states within the countries. This map shows boundaries of countries and of the states within the countries. Means this political map shows the boundaries of states. Look, in the political maps, it is showing the boundaries of the states and the countries. They also show the locations of cities and towns. So by observing a political map, you can locate on which directions if you want to look at any state. Okay, you can look at first find out your state is Odisha. Odisha is our state. So where is Odisha? Odisha is on the east direction. Okay, you can locate it in the next. I will show you the next map. You can see it very easily. Next is a physical map. So in the next picture, you can see this is the India physical map, and here what we can find out in the picture, that is, this map shows the natural features on the earth's surface. Natural features means like the mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers. These are the natural features. So physical map shows the natural features on the earth surface like mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers and so on. Look, in the physical map it is shown some mountains, some natural features like rivers, plain, plateaus. Look, so next you can see that, look, this is the political map, Indian political map, and these are the, so in the political map you can see there are some states named, and Odisha is on east direction. Okay, can you see? So next, in which direction there is the West Bengal, Jharkhand, the neighboring states are there. Okay, so Jammu Kashmir in the north direction, Tamil Nadu, Kerala are on the south direction, Gujarat, Rajasthan are in the west direction. So in this map we can locate the states, the boundaries of the states, the boundaries of the countries. Okay, here we can see number of states in India, that is 29, and union territories it is 7, it is on, but now it is changed. Okay, it is an old map, so it is like that. Okay, next is your India physical map. In your Indian physical map, the natural features what are on the earth, what are in India, that is the Great Himalaya. This is the mountain. Look, here some colors are given for mountain, hilly region or mountain region, plateau region are shown in the yellow color, plain region are shown in the light green color, and mountain region are in orange color, and the mountain or hill regions are some lines, curved lines. Okay, so in this way you can locate the regions, the natural regions on the Indian physical map. Okay, so some, that is Indian great Indian desert, Great Himalaya in your mountain hill region, then mountain region, there Shivalik. Okay, so next plain region, coastal areas, then northern plain in a green, ghat areas, coastal ghat areas. Okay, so in your plateau region, that is Deccan Plateau in the yellow color, Vindhya range that is in yellow color. So these are showing the Indian physical map. Okay, so in your next question, what is a map scale? Give one example. So what is a map scale? Look, the first you have seen, that is an example and solved example. Okay, first read. A map scale is the relation between the distance on a map and the corresponding distance on the ground. So as we learned that when we draw a map, then we cannot represent the actual distance on the ground which we have. We cannot represent it on a map, so we need a map scale. So the map scale is the relation between distance on the map and the corresponding distance on the ground. Means it is the relation between, means here is an example given that, for example, let us consider two places which are 100 km apart. Okay, the original distance between two places is 100 km, but if we say that 1 centimeter on the map stands for 50 km on the ground, so when we start drawing a map, then we have to represent that in a scale. We have to take a scale that here is an example given that 50 km represents 1 centimeter on the map. So 50 km on the ground means 1 centimeter on the map. So these two places would be 2 centimeter apart if, and there is the 100 km distance in original on the ground, then 50 km represents 1 centimeter, then 100 km represents 2 centimeter on the map. The relation of 1 centimeter on the map representing 50 km on the ground is the scale of the map. Here is the example given in the your right side, the original distance between two places is 100 kilometer. Then here is the map scale, that is 0 to 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter to 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter to 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter to 4 centimeter. Means each centimeter represents 50 kilometer on the ground. 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 50 kilometer on the ground. Then 2 centimeter of map on the map is equal to 100 kilometer on the ground. Clear, students? If you have any doubt further, then you can discuss me, or you can message me on my WhatsApp or comment me. Okay, next is your, what are conventional symbols, why are they needed? So conventional symbols are symbols which are widely accepted interpretation. These are used to represent various features on maps. So conventional symbols are widely accepted, means it is not differed from locality to locality or from region to region. Okay, so it is widely accepted, means internationally it is accepted. So these are used to represent various features on maps. So what are the features? It represents that, for example, boundaries, roads, railways. So look at the picture, schools, train stations, mountain, hospitals, some symbols are there. Okay, with the next forest, rest stop, city. So these are the conventional symbols. Next, here a question for you students, that think and answer. A map scale is given thus 1 centimeter to 200 kilometer. This is the question. So try to understand and try to solve this question, that 1 centimeter to 200 kilometer means 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 200 kilometer on the ground. How far apart will two places be on the map if the ground distance between them is 1200 kilometer? If the original ground distance is 1200 kilometer, then how you can show on the map, or what is the distance on the map? Next, this is the first question. Next question is, why is there an international agreement on conventional symbol? Just we have read it or understood that what is conventional symbols. So why there is an why there is an international agreement on conventional symbol? So the answer of this you can find in your book. So all the best students, just go through your book, try to find out the answer and try to solve it, and send in my WhatsApp if you are able to solve. So today we have discussed only A, B and C questions, and rest we'll discuss in our next class. So thank you students, stay happy at your home. Okay, again a big thank you.